Three, two, one, go.
Hey Jason, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I am. How am I doing? I don't like work. I don't want to work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm doing. I'm doing okay. I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
Very small problems when you look at the grand scheme of things.
Of course, of course.
How are you doing?
Um, so. No, the only complaints I have are my internal narratives. So that's it. That's all I have to say.
Internal narratives.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have some plot to rule the world.
Yeah. To rule the world, to rule myself. Whatever it is, it is what it is, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
So I want to take this moment to give a shout out to my cousins. I'm not really sure if they will listen to this, but they gave me quite a lot of feedback, and it was very inspiring to hear how much they listen to the podcast.
Uh-huh.
But they were asking a bunch of questions about, like, I think they talked about the episode about love is greater than a black hole,
Uh-huh.
history is not kind,
Uh-huh.
um, free will versus God's will,
Mm-hmm.
and they recalled parts of the conversation that even I had kind of forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, wow, people are really listening to us. So thank you all once again for listening to us. It's not just for my cousins, that's everyone who's listening
It's a
right now.
blessing. It's all a blessing. It's all a blessing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And we just got accepted to Apple Music. Did you get the email?
Oh, I didn't even realize. No, I didn't
We
check. I didn't
got
check.
we just got accepted to Apple Music. So we're
Oh
now gonna be in
man.
the Apple podcast directory.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
So you
As like
Mhm.
immediately or like we have to wait a bit?
I haven't checked yet, but I just saw the email that like they've sent us a
Oh
link
my
on.
God, Jesus! Hold on, let me check right now. Let me check right now.
They sent us an email on where you can find our podcast. And yep, starting from today, we're gonna be on Apple Music, or
Bro, we
Apple
are on
Podcasts.
Apple. I'm looking at my phone right now. We're on Apple Podcast.
Big things, big things.
Holy shit!
Very, very big things.
Oh, this is wonderful.
So, guys, just chill back, relax, and listen to the conversation. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, today's topic, we are gonna finish up the theme of the month. What is the theme of the month, Oscar?
Spirituality and religion.
Yes, yes, yes,
Spirituality and
yes.
religion.
Mostly religion and one part spirituality, but
Yep.
uh, I think because there's just so much to talk about in this topic that we're gonna revisit this topic in the future, maybe, and we're gonna probably be a lot more focused, have a much
Mm-hmm.
more focused conversation, and even more focused than what we were doing with the last couple of episodes.
Yep.
And probably we're gonna bring a few guests too, hopefully in the future. So we're gonna talk about modern religion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what is the state of religion today?
What is the state of religion? Like, as we were just mentioning before we started recording, is that apparently there are between 500 million and 750 million atheists. A part of me wants to say that that's not really a lack of religion, that's just a religion in and of itself.
How is the affiliation of being non-religious a religion?
Because like they must have ideals, they must have like something they aspire to, they have a creed, and the creed is that we don't believe, right? The creed is that we seriously don't believe. We'll take any evidence that tries to prove we'll agree with any piece of evidence that tries to disprove the existence of a god and the value of religion.
A religion has to have shared beliefs, though. Like
Yeah,
it
those,
has to
those,
have
those
like.
are the shared beliefs. Those are the shared beliefs, right? That God isn't real. God isn't real.
Would you say then the belief in fiat money that doesn't necessarily have any connection to any natural resources?
Mm-hmm.
It's not tied to gold or anything like that, right? Fiat
Mm-hmm.
money. Our belief in fiat money is a religion.
Yes, believe. Uh-huh. Yes, it is. Yeah, I would say so. I would. Not. Yes. Yeah, I think I would say so. I would say so. It's kind of a god, right? Money is a god, right?
Our belief. Our belief in our laws is a religion.
Our belief in our laws is a religion. Now, when we talk about this, it makes me question the entire definition of religion. How will you?
I think your definition of religion is funny. I'm just waiting for you to like think
Yeah,
about it a bit more.
before I answer, I have to look at the definition of religion.
I thought you would already have a definition in mind. Because
So here's the thing. This is what Wikipedia says. Religion is a social cultural system of designated behaviors and practices, morals, worldviews, texts, sanctified places, prophecies, ethics, or organizations that relates humanity to supernatural, transcendental, and spiritual elements.
So I will tell you this. I think religion, the definition of religion is like bendable, right? Because people, there's arguments to people who say like capitalism is the new religion, right? So, and when they say capitalism is the new religion, what they're talking about is that the pursuit of a common interest with great devotion. That's a religion, you know?
Okay, I like that. I like that definition. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful definition.
But again, that's why I'm like the definition is a bit bendable because I think there has to be a particular system in place, like a particular system of faith and worship. Like I think there's people in like America or somewhere, like some Christians would say, "Oh, I'm a Christian, I have faith, but I hate Christianity as a religion." You know, I hate religion. When they say something like that, they're talking like how they believe in the teachings of Christianity, but they hate like the Catholic Church, the organization. Exactly. So to me, like that system, I think the importance of having that system in place is what makes a religion. You can still have faith and spirituality without a religion, for sure. But I don't know. I'm like, this is the part we can have a discussion on.
Yeah, so like with this definition, with the definition you've given me, I will say okay, not the one you've given me, but the one from Wikipedia, right? Relates the part of that where it speaks of relating humanity to supernatural, transcendental, and spiritual elements. And you were talking about the worship, or rather the belief in fiat money, right? Isn't that a transcendental element?
It is.
Yeah, to a degree, because it's not real. It's only real because we agree it's a real thing, right? So it has no value in and of itself, right? So for you to believe in it is to believe in something that is to believe in something whose worth only exists in your head, just like the worth of God only exists in the head of the person who believes in God, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I would say I would say I believe in money, and fiat money is a religion as well. Capitalism is a religion. Yeah, because
this is interesting, because I do see the merits of having both definitions.
Yeah,
I can understand why both definitions exist.
Yeah, because think about it, right? You know Supreme. Do you know Supreme?
Supreme, yeah.
So Supreme, like for those people who don't know what Supreme is a skaters brand, right? They sell skater clothes.
Really, it was a skaters brand.
Yeah, initially it was designed, but it was made by a skater, right? Who wanted to make the best skating clothes.
My God, that guy is rolling in money now. What?
Yeah. So what Supreme is known for making white T-shirts, plain white T-shirts with a tiny Supreme logo at the front, just a logo, a red logo written Supreme. And those T-shirts in Japan, right? There's a Supreme store in Osaka, and the store has bodyguards, like security guards outside, right? Not even Louis Vuitton has security guards outside the store. And the thing is, that white T-shirt with the Supreme logo can go for as much as $300, 30,000 yen, 30,000 Kenyan shillings, right? And people buy those T-shirts and resell them at a higher price.
And just so people understand, it's literally just a white T-shirt with a logo.
Just a white T-shirt.
There's there's no other design on it.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, right? For someone like me, I will never buy that T-shirt. I see no value in that T-shirt at all. But there's someone who values it so much that they will wake up at 4 a.m. go and make a line just to get the new size of that white T-shirt. This is not a religion.
That's a social ladder game, and
Yeah.
maybe a religion too.
I mean, it's not even a social ladder, because it's like, if you come to me and tell me you have a Supreme T-shirt worth 30,000 yen, it's like, I think you're more crazy than intelligent. Why would you buy that white T-shirt for 30,000 yen?
But that's if they're talking to Oscar Ruto. I think other people,
Exactly.
there'll be other
Right?
friend circles where it's like, oh my god, he has a Supreme T-shirt.
Yeah,
He must be so
why
cool.
that's why I say it's a religion, because if someone talks to me about Zoroastrianism, my first response is like, wow, the demon, the devil drug, whatever is called, is real. Oh my god, he's real. I think like, yeah, that's just an interesting story, bro. You know, I won't take it so seriously. The same way I wouldn't take someone who loves Supreme so seriously, you know. Because the thing is only of value in their head. Of course, it has monetary value as well, but like the greatest value of the object exists in the individual's head. The greatest value of religion and God or gods exists in the heads of those who worship.
I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So here's another question. There seems to be a trend towards people becoming even more non-religious, right? Are we living in a godless world, Oscar?
I'm going to start off with the famous quote that I'm sure everyone has heard this quote: God is dead. Nietzsche said God is dead, right? But like, from some analysis I've read of this quote, it's not that he believed that God is gone, it's that he foresaw the coming of the secular age, right?
Yep.
That man is going to believe in his ability more than he believes in the abilities in the greatness of God.
I think it was money, our celebrities. He talks about many things actually.
Yeah, yes. And it's like, the
our
thing
politicians,
it's not even that. If you look at like being in Japan, right? It's not that people are running away from religion, right? It's that the world we live in makes it exceedingly harder and harder to perform the religious rituals that will make us one with God, or will make us want to desire to be one with God, right? If you're working for 7-8 hours a day, you don't come home and think about praying or chanting, right?
It's also that our modern society, the technology and innovations that we've had recently, have made us have changed the way we think. When you try implementing the old style religions of like, hey, you should do this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then go to church on Sunday, how does that mesh together with the Instagram age, for example? The people who are they want instant gratification, people who are always taking photos and stuff like that, right? I feel like the religions that do survive are the religions that have to update their teachings.
Okay, but then I will ask, I don't know about this, but I wonder how countries like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates deal with like day-to-day existence in the modern age, because they have to pray 5 times a day, if I'm not mistaken, right? Do they always do that, or just is something that you can just ignore?
I'm pretty sure they can't ignore it.
Yeah, so like, how are the nations surviving? How are those states surviving?
But like, it's a religious state, Saudi Arabia, right? I don't think it's a law, but I think a lot of the Islamic laws have been made state law,
Okay.
It's even something like, if you want to become a Saudi Arabian national, you have to convert into Islam, right? There's freedom of religion, I think, to a certain extent, but I think a lot of the Islamic laws are like pretty state law. There's a lot of things that are even like punishable by death that are still.
Yeah.
I don't think they practice it, but it's there in their laws. The death penalty, for sure.
Oh no, they practice it. I think they do practice it.
They practice execution.
Even public lashings.
Public lashings, I know they do that, but executions, I'm not sure about executions.
Yeah, let me check. I'm not quite sure as well. I thought they did practice it.
So I just opened an article real quick, and I was just like, okay, so apparently they have they have very strict restrictions on the freedom of religion.
Mm.
So no
So
other faith other than Islam is permitted to be practiced. No churches, temples, or other
really,
Muslim houses of worship are permitted in the country. Although there are nearly millions of Christians as well as Hindus and Buddhists, nearly all foreign workers in Saudi Arabia. Private prayer services are suppressed, and Saudi Arabian religious police. They have a religious
Jesus.
police. The Committee for Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice. That is the CPVPV.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. They have religious
Look,
police.
listen to this.
What's up?
Even like back to like the executions, the capital punishment, right?
Mm.
So capital punishment is a legal penalty in Saudi Arabia. The country performed at least 158 executions in 2015, at least 154 in 2016, at least 146 in 2017, 149 in 2018, and 184 in 2019. Yeah, so they just kill people.
Hindus are not allowed to celebrate Diwali. Christians are not allowed, foreign workers are not allowed to celebrate Christmas or Easter.
Bro,
What is
they,
going on there?
there's a place called Dira Square in a public place in Riyadh, the capital city, right?
Mm.
Where they hold public executions, usually beheadings. Bro,
So
this is
Saudi Arabia
2021.
is still in the 1600s, 1700s, clearly.
You don't see this in the news, right?
How much oil money and how much like connections and hands, how deep are their hands in like the
Oh,
financial environments of other
so
countries
this
for
is
them to
one
be able
theory
to
I've
get
had.
away with stuff like this?
This is one theory I've had. People say like Elon Musk, what's his name? Bezos are the richest men in the world. A theory I've had is that the richest men in the world actually those oil magnates from the Middle East, because according to the religion, they're not supposed to speak about how much wealth they have.
Also,
So there's one thing I saw online whereby like the oil magnates in the Middle East, they're anywhere between like 2 billion, wait no, like 200 million and 2 trillion.
also a lot of these things are estimates, right?
Yes.
Estimates based on assets. So experts look at the assets that the individual is holding. So it has to be assets. So for that to happen, it has to be assets they can actually see, right? A lot of the top 1% just says, hey, you're not even allowed to see anything I have. So they don't even know what kind of assets a particular individual might have in the first place. And if you can't even see the assets that individual holds, then you can't even estimate what kind of income or what kind of net worth they have.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure like a lot of these, like they have, for the royalty of Saudi Arabia, they probably do have like an estimate, but they don't, like literally they don't know. They don't know how deep it really goes, you know? And it's like saying what's the net worth of some of the governments. No one really knows, because the black programs, right? The underground programs. No one knows, like for like the US and stuff like that. Okay, though the US does have a budget for the dark programs. It's listed whenever they do budget meetings and stuff like that. Like you can find it's pretty public information, but no one knows what it's used for. Is a thing. So with that being said, going back to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a very exception because, like, we just found out. You would think that time has paused for them. It's like they forcefully paused time, and I can understand why, right? It's to battle that external influence, the external influence that could rock the boat, so to say, right? And it will like create destabilization within their own society and within their own like belief systems, which is something they definitely wouldn't want, right? So it in my opinion, it's a way of holding on to power. But you see this with a lot of religions in general, right? Like in Catholic Church. But you think like the Catholic Church, like the Pope, when the Pope says stuff like homosexuals are people too and they should be respected, everyone apparently finds that so controversial, you know?
Of course.
It's because if you go against what has been established, especially with the older religions, there tends to be a backlash from the older generations, right?
Mm, mm, mm,
But they kind of need to change in order to capture the new generation.
mm, 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 mm.
So I guess it's a question of change within religion in general, you know? And I think from what I've seen, a lot of religions, I think Christianity is doing okay. I think Christianity is doing fine.
How so?
Um, I don't see any particular inconsistencies or any like particular obstacles when it comes to like practicing Christianity in our modern day world compared to,
Mhm.
let's say, Islam, you know? Because Islam,
Oh,
for
oh,
example,
okay, okay. Okay. So, like, back to what you were saying in the few minutes ago is basically that Christianity has learned to evolve with the time, and basically Christianity was kind of forced to change because the Europeans changed within the Industrial Revolution, and they had to change their religion to match their new cultural norms.
yeah, yeah. Like there's some crazy shit in the Bible. We all know it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You're not
Yep.
allowed to
Yep.
eat selfish on a particular day. Like in the Old Testament, there's some really crazy stuff. And everyone knows that this is just like
It's madness. It's
it's
madness.
madness and
You can't live like this.
it's not where it's at. That's not what
Yeah.
we're focusing on, you know?
Yeah.
They don't talk
And like,
about it. It's very funny
uh,
they don't talk about it. It's just like an agreed upon decision, like a open secret that this is not the teachings we're going to focus on.
yeah, and I feel like recently there's been like a resurgence in people in Christianity. Like people are going back.
Going back, what makes you say that?
Maybe not really becoming Christians, but more like people are trying to learn more about Christianity. I would say like anyone who has been influenced by Jordan Peterson has gone back to the Bible, right?
But yeah, like you said, they're not necessarily become Christians. We're one of those people, by the way.
Yeah, but I will claim that to truly analyze something and understand it will kind of lead you down that path, right?
Mm.
The path of becoming that thing, right?
Is that true?
Not always, but it does happen, right? There's no if I love MMA so much and I decide I'm gonna practice some MMA, I may not become an MMA fighter, but I am practicing MMA, not a.
Okay. I do get what you're saying. I'm just going to say that. So Islam is. I'm trying to understand what makes it so. What makes Islam special? That it's been fighting change for a long time.
What makes Islam special?
What makes it different, rather?
I actually don't know. I've heard a couple of theories, but I can't say.
Because out
What
of
makes
all the religions currently, it seems like Islam is the one that's with the most cause. It's causing that has the most friction. It's not causing anything. It has the most friction in terms of like change versus keeping up with established norms and culture.
No, I get you. I get you. What's up with Christian?
Hinduism and Buddhism don't only not only not fight against change, they openly accept change.
Yeah, but does Hinduism really accept change? Like, here's the thing with Buddhism. Buddhism does accept change because now the, some of the biggest Buddhist countries are like also the biggest economies, right?
But that wasn't always true. Even I
It
think from
wasn't always
before.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it wasn't always true, but that's the case right now, right?
Okay.
So, like they have to like look at Japan for instance. Japan is what's the percentage of Buddhism in Japan? Is it 50?
I'm pretty sure there's more. There's not more Shintoism than Buddhism.
I don't know. I'm just curious about the percentage. 67%.
Du-du-du-du-du-du-du.
67%. 67. So actually, most Buddhists are
Buddhists?
Japanese. Yeah.
Really? That's interesting. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah. Anyway, so like if you look at Japan, people claim to be Buddhists, but they're not really practicing Buddhist. Maybe the only time they practice is during the the seasonal festivals, right? When they go to the shrines and shake the bell and clap their hands and bow and do a silent chant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't really practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the modern world doesn't need them to practice that way. But if you look at India, Hinduism in India is a bit different because they still have the honor killings in India, right? That's part of Hinduism.
I don't think it's Hindus that are doing the honor killing. I'm pretty sure it's the Muslim population.
It's the Muslims?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure about it.
Hindus, from what I'm seeing, Hindus aren't the ones doing it. Wait, I want to confirm that. But anyway, continue on your point. Let's say what you're saying. Let's take it to be truth for the sake of argument.
So like, okay, what I was back to the story of like, when you grow as an economy and your culture is now valued outside of your own borders, you would want to change in order to be more accepted, more welcomed by the greater world. And also another, like, that's the thing with, at least I believe that's the thing with Buddhism and yeah, Buddhism, not really Hinduism, and not Shintoism per se. Because if you look at Shintoism, people don't know this, but during World War II, Shintoism was one of the reasons that Americans believed Japanese people were crazy, right? Because according to Shintoism, all Japanese people are the children of the god of the god Amaterasu, right? They have the blood of the god Amaterasu, of the god or goddess Amaterasu, and what the goddess wants them to do is to spread their riches to all the 8 corners of the earth. They're supposed to take over the whole world. That's Shintoism. Right? So I think after the Japanese people lost the war, there was no way they could keep such an ideology going. It just couldn't work out. We can't have this religion holding this country together. This religion that wants us to eat and eat and eat, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Buddhism became more popular. Maybe, I assume so. I don't know as a fact again.
So just to a quick comment, just to go back a bit. So there's an echo by the way.
I don't know.
Hello,
can you hear me?
Okay, it's gone. Anyway, so just to go back real quick, I thought honor killings was predominantly an Islamic problem, because that's what I've been saying. But actually, it happens in Hindu communities as well.
Yeah.
And it seems to be, from what I've just looked up real quick, it seems to be mostly a thing about violence against women.
Yep.
And to be honest, I've just never understood that part. Like, it's one of those things that's just like a woman can go and decide, oh, I'm just gonna go be an actress, and everyone's just like, if the community decides being an actress is shameful, then you just die. They just threaten you and try to kill you straight up. If you date a non-Muslim person,
yeah,
your father and your brother and your uncles will come and rape you and kill you. Like, what is this? What's going on here? I never understood it.
There's a certain Arabic word, like I've forgotten the word itself.
The shame.
But the words,
the word for shame.
Yes, the word for shame is the same word for woman, right?
Really?
It's not. It's shame or like embarrassment or like one of these. I read something recently that was speaking of shame. The word shame or embarrassment can also be used to refer to a woman, right? And there's a certain sect of Islam that truly believes that all the problems in the world are caused by women, and that's why they cover everything up, you know.
Wait a minute. Is this true?
Yes. Actually, I have to get the book. It's a book I've been reading. Hold on. If you're willing to wait for a few seconds.
Yes. No, I need to know that.
Keep talking.
Because I just know about the religious significance or the religious reasons for why women should be covered up. You know, they say it's only your husband and your father who should be allowed to see you. This is for women, right? It's only your husband and your father who should be allowed to see your bare body.
Your husband and your father?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Anyone else, it's haram.
Yep.
Haram being... What does haram mean? It's like sinful, right? Sin.
Yeah, just something bad, something dirty.
Yeah. And it's funny because, like, even the honor killings are like, they threaten celebrities. I remember specifically there was one, like, there was a couple of like Indian actresses. I'm not sure if they were
Mhm.
Indian, but they were of Hindu or Indian heritage
Mhm.
who acted in Harry Potter.
Mhm.
And they got threatened quite a bit. They got like bullied online and threatened quite a bit because they were dating like just normal British white guys.
And they were bullied,
They were
threatened.
bullied, yeah, they were bullied and threatened. And these are like big stars, man. They were like in Harry Potter and shit. So it's just like, if they're getting like openly harassed like that, can you imagine what kind of dark stuff happens to the
Okay,
other women
found
and
it,
just
found it,
goes
found it,
under the bed or goes
found
in
it.
the shadows? Yeah, okay.
So this is I'm just reading word for word, right?
Mm.
So the context says that if masculinity is the problem, then all males, or even the concept of male, must be attacked and vilified. The same applies for femininity, for example, in too many places in the world. In Arabic, for example, the word ara, Awrah, I don't know how to pronounce it, denotes the body's intimate parts, which must be clothed. The term roots in another word, awr, or I don't know, that's how I guess, means something approximating weakness, imperfection, or defectiveness. Nakedness is the most common English translation. Other meanings include falseness, artificiality, or blindness. According to the dictionary compiled by Muhammad Moin, a well-known Iranian scholar of Persian literature and Iranian studies, the word awrah, I don't know how to pronounce it, means both nakedness or shame and young woman. In keeping with this network of ideas, the word awrat, awrat, derived from the other word, ara, has been used widely in various Arabic influenced cultures to signify woman. It is for such reason that women are viewed by those who follow the Wahhabi strand of Islam, for example, ultra conservative, austere, and puritanical, as sufficiently responsible for the evil and temptation of the world that their movements must be drastically and severely restricted, even that they are not allowed to show themselves in any important manner in the public sphere.
I like. That's very interesting. I'd like to read more about that because it's like, why have they tied these sort of definitions? You know, there must have been some sort of cultural.
Hey, bro, I can tell you what happened. I can tell you what happened.
Yeah.
This is what happened. Some people, when Eve ate the apple, some people said, you know what? Let's not fight with the woman. Let's just try to make things work out. And some people say, you know what? Fuck women. Everything is their fault. Yeah, I'm just joking, of course. I'm just joking, but still, yes. I don't know why. I can't imagine why they would say that. But okay, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But even though I can't imagine, I wouldn't want to agree with what I'm imagining. You know? Yeah.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
we can agree that we're increasingly becoming more godless.
Yes.
What are
Yes.
some of the new religions that you have seen?
Some of the new religions, I would say it's not really new religions. It's like new religious.
New movements, new
It's new
religious type
movements. It's new,
movements.
yes, it's movements, but those movements are based off of old religions, right? Where
Okay.
you have like things like mindfulness movements, so which are propagated everywhere in the West now, right?
What's that?
All this mindfulness, meditation, and stuff, all rooted in Buddhism and Hinduism, you know. So this they're everywhere. They're everywhere. You know, think of like the '60s in America. You know, the hippie movements. Like think the swaths and swaths of like new age religions that were popping up. You know, you had Osho. You know, all these guys. You know, talking to Americans about enlightenment. You had the other guys. The what are they called? The transcendental meditators
Mm-hmm.
with their father, their preacher, their god, not their god really, like their teacher who coming from India. What was his name? The founder of transcendental meditation.
I agree with what you're saying. It's like new movements that are growing out of the roots of old movements.
Yes, yes.
So new roots that are growing out of the trunks of old trees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna talk about the social media religious
Social
movements?
media as how? I don't know about this. What's this?
The way kids are looking at their phones every second, every minute.
So like
I
Okay. I see. Okay, so in a sense, like what you give your attention to becomes your god. Is that what you're trying to imply?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Our
I
phones, our smartphones are our gods now.
hmm.
I took a moment to put away my phone in the train
Mm-hmm.
just to look at everyone else
Mm-hmm.
and see what they were doing.
Everyone is on their phone, right?
95% of everyone was on their phone.
Yeah,
The
that's
only
it's
people,
crazy.
the
Mm-hmm.
only people who were talking to one another and seemed to be having fun and conversation were like three high school students out of like a
Mm-hmm.
group of like how many were in that train? Let's just say 20 or 30 people, you
Mm.
know? And that's just how it is all day, every day from what I see in my trains, you know?
Yep.
That's not the same in Kenya though.
But well,
In Kenya, there was a lot more people. Like let's say in a big bus, not a matatu, in a big bus where there's a lot more space and stuff, you'd see a lot more friends. There's an echo by the way.
oh, is it still there?
Yeah, I'm not sure
I
what's
don't
happening.
know. Mm.
You would see a lot more people.
Mm-hmm.
You'd see a lot more people talking with one another and having more fun in conversation. And their phones. This is even like a year ago or 2 years ago, right? When I was back in Kenya. Smartphones were pretty much a thing. Everyone had a smartphone. But you don't see that compared to where you see it in Japan, you know?
Huh, so I guess it's just the idea of social distance existed in Japan before Corona.
Mm, mm,
People don't want to talk to each other. Like in my building here in Osaka, the elevator has a screen on top, right? That has like random quizzes.
right?
And so my brother-in-law was saying that the reason they have that there is that when you enter the elevator with someone in the building that you don't know, you don't feel awkward staying there in silence. So you just look at the screen. And apparently they're going to start putting screens in all the new elevators.
I don't understand this thing of like, okay, we need to fix that echo. That echo is getting annoying.
I
Are
don't,
you using
don't know.
headphones?
Nope, I'm not using nothing. Nothing.
That's the problem. You should always use your earphones because I'm hearing
Yeah,
the
but
audio from your speakers.
okay, hold on.
Always use earphones.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, and let's see. Yep, the echo's gone.
Yeah, but I can't hear you now.
Wait, what? Why are you using earphones?
I mean, I can, but it's like really low. Really, the volume is really low.
See, bump up the volume.
Yeah.
Bump up your volume.
Yep, it's 100%. Still can't hear you really well.
Those are your earphones then, man. These are your
Yeah,
fake
it's my
earphones.
phone.
What the hell? Just
Yeah.
get like just. It's like 1,000, 2,000 yen. You get some good earphones.
Yeah, I'll get some. Anyway, go on.
So we are back. Technical problems are fixed. So okay, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the.
Yeah. I was just gonna like so our smartphones are gods now, and it seems to be depending
Uh-huh.
on the culture.
Uh-huh.
This movement will have much more deeper roots depending on which culture and which country you're in, right? Like in Japan, it's very much like it's a real thing. I really do believe like their smartphones for some of these kids are their gods. you know?
Oh, I mean that's true. Like I've gone out just to a cafe and stuff. Even I've seen people who are what I would assume to be a date, but they're not talking to each other. They're both just looking at their phones.
Yes. The two people I've seen people who are like clearly a couple, right?
Mm.
I saw them holding hands. We happened to go into the same cafe and then they just sit there and be on their phones for like 20, 30
Yeah.
minutes. I'm having friends with my I'm having a conversation with my friends and I'm looking at them just keeping an eye to see what they're gonna do and they're like not doing anything.
Yep.
And I'm just like, is this love? Is this how love is nowadays?
Like it is what it is, man. You can't. It is what it is.
Then they go home and be like, I love you. My God, what's going on? You know? What's going on? What's going on? I don't want to hate on like Japanese culture or society because I haven't been here for a very long time. But these are just simple observations that I've seen, I've picked up, you know. America, I don't know about America, to be honest. I would love to talk to somebody from America or Canada who can tell me how it is there.
Yeah.
But specifically, it's just, you know, children nowadays are just given smartphones at such a young age, you know.
So children nowadays are given smartphones at a young age, the way we were given religion at a young age. We were told go to Sunday school, you know.
And, you know, their religion is always on as long as they have power, right?
Yeah, it's always on, always on. At least we could escape Sunday school for the week, you know.
Yes.
Or you can claim to be sick and not go to Sunday school, you know.
Yes. There's so many, yeah, you can make all kinds of excuses. Well, like the phone. And then, you know, it's not just social media, right? We can talk about other distractions like Netflix, games. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's so deep. It's so deep. Like, escapism. Is religion just escapism?
Is religion is everything. I feel like everything we do that isn't what we know to be what anything we do to distract us from the routine of our lives is escapism. But also I'm not quite sure, because maybe escapism is also just another part of life, right? It is a part of life. You can't. Is it possible to live your life without escapism? What are you doing all the time? That means you have no breaks. You only just work and sleep. You eat, work, sleep, eat, work, sleep. You know.
Isn't escapism more of like you're purposely running away from your everyday life
Mm-hmm.
in order to experience something new?
Mm-hmm.
It's not always necessarily for a break. You know, people sometimes can just choose that real life sucks. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
always going to be playing video games. I'm always going to be like doing this other thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not always specifically. I'm saying like it's not always because they want a break.
Mm-hmm. Then what is it? What is it?
I don't know. There's something about human beings that want to escape.
Are we trying to escape life or just this modern world? Do you think escapism was a thing when we were hunter gatherers?
We know what's happening. We're trying to escape suffering. It's usually
Yeah.
always suffering, right? I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to think about a situation where it's not suffering. So wait, in that way, religion is sort of escapism, because
Yeah, it
religion
is.
is just one solution. It's a solution offered to break away from the suffering of reality, the suffering of our world, the suffering of living or existing.
But then, so now, if we think about that, in Buddhism, like starts off from the basis that life is suffering, right? And so, is entering nirvana freeing yourself from suffering, or is it just simply accepting the suffering?
Well, in Buddhism, it's definitely accepting. You have to accept
Yeah,
it in order to
exactly,
go to nirvana.
exactly. So now, in that sense, Buddhism wouldn't be escapism; it will be just total acceptance of your life.
That is true. That is true. That is true. All right. So religions can be complicated. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not very simple. It's not a
Mm.
very simple black and white. You have a good point there.
Nothing is black and white, Jason.
Nothing ever is black and white, but
Yeah.
we like to see everything as black and white.
It's easier. It's much easier to see things as black and white. Hey, if anything was black and white, we wouldn't be having podcast, Jason.
I'm pretty sure we'd still have podcasts though.
You say what?
I
Like
think they would
podcast.
I think they would be boring, but
Yeah, we just stating facts. The sky is blue, you know.
yeah.
The the grass is green. Like the reason why a podcast works is because we have differing ideas on any one particular topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing is black and white, and we're trying to find the gray zone. You know, we are dealing with the gray zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if it was black and white, there would be no arguments, no discussion. We both know what the thing is, and that's that. Yeah.
What? I was gonna ask. Just, I guess we're gonna break away from the whole. Okay, we're living in a much more godless world, or rather, the idea of what constitutes a religion and a god is changing before our very eyes.
Mm-hmm.
but we have like our mobile phones that are religion, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you think it'll ever reach a point where, so you believe, let's start with this. Religion will never die, right? You think religion will always exist?
Yeah, we need something else. We need something greater than us, man. We need something greater than us.
Mm.
I think, I think with the if religion were to truly die, then human beings will start to die off as well. Like not die off, but I mean like we'll definitely lose our path. Will It will be hard for us to cling to meaning. And when I say religion, I don't just mean Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism. No, no, no. I mean even just talking about Instagram being a religion. You know, we can't. There's no. We can never lose our religion. If one religion dies, another will pop up.
So just like how millennials are not getting out of, they're not getting, it seems like they're getting they're extracting less value out of the big religions of today, like the 4 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not all of them. Buddhism seems to be going really strong, but let's just say there's less affiliation today than there was, like, let's say 20 years ago, for sure, right? With most religions,
So that would be
the
so. That's Christianity,
major religions, yeah.
Christianity, Islam, Judaism. But why will you say Buddhism is going strong? Why would you say that?
I feel like maybe because of the culture of like Silicon Valley and tech. In America, it seems like Buddhism seems to be getting, like what you said, like with the whole meditation and being mindful.
Mm.
Even though it's not directly practicing Buddhism,
Okay, just Buddhist influencer.
Buddhist influence, right?
And yeah,
There seems to be a
yeah.
lot of like Buddhist ideas and teachings that are going around, as it's like they're being diffused into the culture itself.
I mean, it's the same with Hinduism. If that's the case,
Mm.
same with Hinduism. You think of yoga. Yoga is like one of those Hindu religions, right?
You are right. Yoga
Yeah,
is a religious practice from Hinduism.
yeah, yeah.
Man, they were practicing yoga like 2000, 3000 BC.
Yeah.
So, oh no, you're right. You're definitely right. So, okay, that being said, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the future of the major religions? Do you think they will die out and be replaced?
Like how far in the future are we talking?
Let's say 100 years from now.
No, they can't die out. They'll still be there. They will still be there.
500 years
Too
from now?
soon. I still think they'll be there, man. Come, dude. Christianity has been around for 2,000 years, 2,000 years, and it's not slowing down in growth. The Bible is still the best-selling book of all time.
You know what I think will be the true death? I think these religions as we know them might end when virtual reality becomes a thing. Like true virtual reality. You pop in a headset and you dive into dream world, and that dream world is just as real. Basically you can jump into the matrix anytime you want, and the matrix is whatever you make of it.
But then, why wouldn't someone just make a heaven with a God and a Christ in it?
Of course, that's the whole point, right? I'm just like, at that point it's like you are God, so why come back to this reality? And at that point I'm like, because to me that's the ultimate escapism.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I agree. I agree. I agree.
At that point it'll just be like, where's the meaning in having religion? What's the meaning of being a believer when you can just become God, you know? If Nietzsche said man has killed God and God is dead, we, using our technology, we revived him and resurrected him, and we became him.
I like that.
Even though some people might argue it might be like a Frankenstein type monster, right? Has science gone too far? Have we all become mad scientists and we've created Frankenstein, you know? I think it's point of views, and really only time will tell, you know? Only time will tell. I think with that being said, that's pretty much all of the questions I wanted to ask. Are there any other questions you have on religion and spirituality? Because this is wrapping up the theme.
No, I have no questions. I have no questions.
You have no questions. All right, all right. So we still have like probably another 5 minutes or so. Do you want to
Oh,
talk
so like
about?
I have one thing I want to add. I have one thing I would like to close off. Actually, let me add one thing.
Mm,
Not really a question. So to wrap up this theme of spirituality and religion,
mm.
I read about this thing called apotheosis. Do you know what that is?
Apotheosis? You mean the opposite of apotheosis is the highest possible aspect of a certain, like the highest possible one.
Uh-huh. Yes, yeah. So basically, the translation is the highest possible point in the development of something,
Yes,
a
yes, 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 yes.
culmination or climax.
Yes.
However, in the Greek Orthodox Church, they believe apotheosis is when man becomes God, right? When you put all your efforts into the greatest good, and you, in your search for good, become the good, you become God, right? To become divine, to become divine.
Wait, so there's two definitions. Is that what you're saying? Or is that the
Uh,
original definition?
this is the original definition. Well, I don't know if it's the original, but it's the older one. It's the older definition. At least I
Wow.
think.
Okay, I
Yeah,
did not know that. I knew what apotheosis means.
yeah. It comes from ancient Greek. Ancient Greek, also called divination and deification from
In
Latin
this, in the search for
deificatio.
good, you
Yes,
become ultimate good.
you become in the search for good. You become the ultimate good, right?
Isn't that
And
the
it's like,
story of the hero? The hero
yes,
story,
that is the story.
basically.
That's basically, yeah, exactly. That's the story of the hero. That's the story of Christ.
Yeah.
It's in our day-to-day life, man. How often we fall? We fall every day. We
Every day.
fall every day, and
Mm,
sometimes you fall so deep that you feel like you're gone. Like, I can't come out of this hole, right?
mm.
But someone pulls you out. And in that moment of
Someone
you being
or
pulled,
something.
yes, or whatever pulls you out of your hole, that thing is like a god to you, right? In that moment, that thing is like it's God. It's God came. Like,
It's a
imagine this. Have
miracle.
you,
It's
have
an
you had those?
angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all had these stories whereby like this was going to happen to me, and this person helped me out. It was like God came to help me.
Mm.
We had those stories over and over again. Someone claimed that whenever they got assistance, when they felt at the lowest moment, it's like God came to them.
Or God sent this person to come help me.
Exactly, exactly. But in a sense, it's like that person in that moment was not sent by God. That person became God for you.
Mm.
That person became the ultimate good for you, the good you needed in that moment, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And imagine if we all did that for ourselves each and every day. But it's so hard, bro, because even I fall deep. I fall very, very deep into dark holes. And it's so hard for me to be the God I need in my life, right?
Right.
So how do we apotheosize ourselves? Apotheosize, yeah. How do we do
Apotheosize.
that? Yeah.
Just 1 second.
Uh,
Are you still wearing earphones?
nope, because I couldn't hear a thing. I could not hear a thing.
You don't have any other earphones?
Nope.
Because the echo is really bad on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now as well.
Hello?
Is
It's
it
a
still
bit
bad?
better, but I can still hear myself.
Okay. I just have no other alternative right now.
Uh, okay, we'll just finish it like this. Apologies, guys, for the echo. Having some technical issues, but yeah, by next week we should fix them. We would have fixed them.
Definitely,
Anyway,
definitely.
it's the end of the episode, so we're just trying to wrap up real quick. So how do we apotheosize ourselves? Um,
I, d- I don't know. That's the question, right?
it's beauty, love, and sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the key things. If you would ask me, those are the pathways to godlyhood.
Okay. Okay. Beauty, love, and sacrifice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what Jordan Peterson says, if you can make your room beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
you're already like, dude, you're so much closer to heaven. You can
Mm-hmm.
not even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only by trying to clean my room every day do I realize, man, trying to make things beautiful is
It's
hard.
hard work. It's hard work.
It's so fucking hard. And you know what? I'm just on the first step of beautifying things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because cleaning isn't beautifying it. Cleaning is just making the slate blank. It's supposed to add something to it too, right?
Add value to it, yeah.
Yes, when you add something, that's beautifying. That's now the true act of beautifying. I'm not even there yet, man. Even though I've been buying like one or two things for my room and stuff, it's like it's still not enough. It's still not enough, man. So you just it's a beauty for sure. And then love. Love is okay. This is a big one. Love is, I think, one of the best antidotes against negative emotions. It is the antidote. I don't think there is any other. Okay, there might be other antidotes, but it's like the most important one, you know? If you can counteract all of your negative emotions or like some of the negative narratives we all have in our heads with love, positivity, and patience. Positivity, I guess, is just love for yourself, right? So love and patience, then you literally become unstoppable. So love, beauty, and I don't know what was the last one I said.
Love, beauty, and sacrifice.
Sacrifice is the sacrifice and devotion. I'll put them together. That's the hardest one in my opinion for me. It's the one that I'm trying to learn right now. Just being consistent and giving pieces of yourself every day so that you can be remade, recreated. In order for you to become something else, you need to destroy yourself as it is right now.
Oh yeah, as the biblical quote, yeah.
You need to be willing to let go of what you are right now to become become what you will be tomorrow.
Well, there was a quote from the Bible. I think you read it to me once. Like, to find God, you must lose your life.
Yes.
Something of that
Yeah,
sort,
you're
right?
right. You're right. We've said it in a past episode,
Yeah.
and that's true. But man, letting yourself go and letting yourself die, it's hard. It's really hard. Anyway, what do you think? This is like the final comment.
What do I think? How to approach this? I agree with you. I have nothing to add. I think you're on point. You're on point. But it's hard to kill yourself. It's hard to lose yourself. Like, you know what I've found out about my own life is that it's very easy to be self-sabotaging, even when you don't realize you're doing it, right?
Yep.
When you let yourself be swallowed up by emotions of doom and gloom, of jealousy, and like there's a sweetness to holding on to such emotions. Have you realized that?
There's a sweetness. Yep.
When you're angry, when you're really, really rageful, there's a sweetness to letting that emotion just burn through you, right? And that's like that's sabotaging yourself. And it's so easy and it feels good to do that. It feels easier to burn down the house than to build it up. Building a house is fucking hard. Burning down is easy and fun and bright and beautiful and colorful. But building it up, oh, that takes so long. Having to get hammers and nails and breaking rocks and building them up into something with beauty and shape and form. It's like, that's too hard. That's hard work. But burning things down, that's quick and fun.
You're right. Actually, I think that's why there's some sort of catharticism to be found in it. But that moment of relief is very short. It's almost like I'm trying to think of a good example. I think the myth of Banshee. Is it Banshee or Wraith? No. Mermaids. Mermaids is the myth. The moment of ecstasy you feel before they drown you in the deep sea. That's your hate right there. So there is I'm using that as an example, right? But I feel like that's a very good visualization for people who don't know. The mermaids, not mermaids as we see in Disney, but mermaids as in like how they were told originally in old English folklore. They used to sing to sailors Specifically, it was lost sailors, if I remember correctly. Sailors lost at sea. They would sing they'd sing songs of absolute grace and beauty that would lure sailors to jump into the waters, and then they would pull. The sailors wouldn't feel a thing when all of this is happening. They
Mm-hmm.
would be in like a state of euphoria, and the mermaids would just pull them down into the deep sea and drown them. And now I'm using that as the example for the hate, how you can get trapped. Like you said, when you're in those like when you're in that storm of negative emotions, there is some sort of euphoria to be found, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But those are just the moments before you completely drown yourself.
Yep,
If you
yep.
go any further,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but like I felt it. We all feel it. It's the reason why we like venting. If you ever get stressed out, you want to go vent at a friend. It feels good after, right?
Yep, yeah, yeah. Feels so relieving, man.
Yeah.
So relieving.
The storm of negative emotions, man. We wanna. Sometimes we just wanna get it all out. We wanna
Mm.
be in the middle of everything
Mm.
while it swirls around us.
Yep, yep.
I don't know.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
And with that, that is the end of the episode. I'd like to apologize for the technical problems. I don't know if this. I don't know how it'll sound when we edit it, but on my
Mm.
side, it's pretty annoying and
Mm-hmm.
distracting. So,
Mm.
anyway, Oscar, any
Uh,
final thoughts? Any
no
final
final
comments? Sorry.
thoughts. So we're moving on to the next theme for the month of April, and the theme is art and psychology.
Mm.
So if things work out as we would like for them to work out, we expect to have at least one guest for the next theme. And for all you listeners and subscribers, please add in any input, something you'd like to hear, any ideas you might have that will make this podcast more interesting. And for all those artists out there, please let us see your art. Let us see what you do, your drawings, your graphic designs. Let us read your poems, your short stories. Send anything down to our email,
Or
which
message
is,
you.
yes, or message me or Jason on Facebook, on WhatsApp if you have my WhatsApp, that is, on Instagram. Everyone is free and willing to text me on Instagram. Go ahead, go right ahead.
And with that, we can say bye bye.
Thank you very much, listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you as always. And that's the end of the episode. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Oscar.
Bye bye, Jason.